God, what an idiot I am! How could I? Victoria, clutching her head with both hands, rocked back and forth like a pendulum in the company lawyer's office. Victoria Ann, I'm so sorry, but everything here is completely legal. The older man sighed sympathetically. You saw your signatures on the documents, right? I don't know how your husband got them, I mean the signatures, but the analysis confirmed they're genuine. Maybe he slipped a power of attorney in with some other papers or contracts. Yeah, I trusted him too much, Victoria sighed bitterly. To be 35 and left with nothing. I thought there were still decent people out there. The lawyer sighed too. You have nothing left at all? Some cash. My parents' apartment in a small town nearby. Victoria couldn't believe she was left with nothing. Her charming husband, Nathan, her former deputy, had drained their accounts using a power of attorney she'd blindly signed, sold all their real estate, equipment, and assets, and vanished with some woman, brazenly robbing his own wife. Nothing to pin on him, she scoffed, frustrated at her own naivety. I can lend you money, the lawyer offered, feeling sorry for his former boss. No thank you, Paul. Victoria declined. She wasn't about to accept charity like a beggar. I'll manage, and when I'm back on my feet, you'll return to me. Your position will be waiting. The young woman looked openly at the older professional who'd served the company loyally for years. Her gaze told him she hadn't lost hope of rising again, and it was too early to pity her. Of course, Victoria Ann. It'd be an honor. Paul stood, placed a hand over his heart, bowed, and left his former office. Victoria sat a bit longer, then left the office for the last time. She turned sharply and walked away. Thoughts raced, each overtaking the next, and she couldn't focus on anyone. She wandered aimlessly until the scent of the sea snapped her back to reality. Leaning on the railing of the boardwalk, she stared at the calm water. She didn't notice she'd stopped next to a young girl sketching. The girl spoke to Victoria like an old friend. The former businesswoman raised an eyebrow, studying her. So, did your husband like the portrait? The artist continued, oblivious to Victoria's confusion. What are you talking about? Victoria asked, bewildered. The portrait I drew of you last week, the girl repeated slowly, looking at Victoria like she was unwell. Are you sure you're not mistaken? Victoria was stunned. I wasn't here last week. I haven't been here in 6 months, maybe more. No mistake, the girl said, offended. I'm an artist with a near-photographic memory. Look. She rummaged through a large folder of sketches and pulled out a sheet. Victoria took it and froze. It was her. The hairstyle was nearly identical, though the clothes were different. But it was undeniably her. Vicky, I don't understand. She stared at the artist. Where'd you get this? God, are you on something? The girl huffed. Forgetting you posed for me for almost 2 hours. Sorry. Victoria steadied herself. I'm having a rough time. My head's elsewhere. Honestly, I forgot. Did I say anything? Yeah, you said if your husband and kids liked the portrait, you'd give me more money. The girl replied glumly, sensing her client was off and not expecting gratitude. Oh, right. Here, take this. Victoria emptied her purse of her last cash and handed it to the young artist. Tell your parents you've got talent. They should be proud. I don't have parents. The girl gaped at the stack of money. This is a lot. There's no such thing as too much. Victoria smirked, gesturing to the sketch. Will you give me this drawing? Take it. The still stunned artist nodded, floored by the generous payment. Where are your parents? Are you an orphan? Victoria asked. Ugh, knock on wood. The girl spat over her shoulder 3 times. I ran away from home. Dad wouldn't let me draw, made me herd cows and slave in the garden. I want to be an artist. I'll earn money and study at the academy, she said, eyes dreamy. You'll make it. Victoria smiled. Good luck. She waved to the young runaway, took the sketch, and continued along the boardwalk. She needed somewhere to live and some way to afford it. Returning to her hometown felt wrong, so she decided to try her luck here. Victoria wasn't afraid of hard work. She'd built her business from scratch. Her chain of upscale laundries and dry cleaners had grown from a tiny shop in a residential neighborhood 10 years ago. Back then, she personally took in clothes, loaded machines, ironed, and steamed. As clients grew, she bought equipment, expanded, and hired help. Her top-notch cleaning and laundry services caught the eye of elite hotels and restaurants, leading to contracts. Victoria became an expert in caring for luxury fabrics, studying unique techniques for years. She'd met Nathan early in her career when she was still an unknown laundry owner. One day, a flustered young man burst in, holding something odd. "They say you work miracles." He dumped a pile of shiny, brown-smeared fabric on the counter. "Don't worry, it's not what you think." He grinned. "Chocolate." Up close, it was a performance costume. Shiny, sequined, studded with rhinestones, and drenched in hot chocolate. "How'd this happen?" Victoria asked, amazed. "A guest at a party tried snapping a pic with a cake, slipped and crashed onto the stage. I had to dive in to save the instruments and equipment." He sighed. "What were you doing on stage?" Victoria asked, intrigued, eyeing the client. "Singing," he said simply. "I sing and play at events. Always goes fine, but this time, bad luck. Can you help?" "Of course," she smiled. "I've cleaned worse. Come back tomorrow. It'll be ready." The next day, the musician picked up his sparkling costume and exclaimed, "Wow, better than new. You're a wizard. Sorry, I didn't catch your name." "Victoria," she replied, blushing. "I'm Nathan," he introduced himself. "I'd love to invite you to my performance. I think you'd appreciate seeing your work shine on stage." "You're not dying of modesty, are you?" Victoria teased. "What can I say? Guilty as charged." Nathan nodded, pleased. His confidence was clear. A charismatic, handsome musician. Guys like that always charmed women. Victoria didn't expect anything, just wanted a night out. "I'll take you up on that," she agreed. "Gotta see that costume dazzle." "And not just the costume," Nathan winked. The evening was wonderful. Victoria had a blast, captivated by her new friend's singing and playing. He even pulled her onto the dance floor a few times, but she never imagined they'd end up together. Nathan was drawn to this simple yet attractive woman, lively and surprisingly humble despite her small business. They started seeing each other more, and eventually he convinced Victoria his feelings were serious. They married. Victoria's business soared, while Nathan wanted a career change. "I was a kid bouncing around stages, entertaining crowds, but I'm getting older. Time to get serious. Got any ideas?" he asked her one day. "I need a right-hand man," she said after thinking. "Want to try the family business? We're opening branches citywide, and I can't oversee everything anymore. You're great with people." Nathan didn't hesitate long and jumped in. Victoria trained him, and he excelled, so well that she soon stopped supervising him and delegated more responsibilities. The business thrived. Victoria handled the technical side while Nathan focused on public relations. She didn't notice when Nathan got involved with a young hotel administrator from a client they serviced. She never suspected he'd rob her until he vanished, leaving her penniless. Now she had to start over. Starving, having given her last cash to the runaway artist, Victoria turned back to where the girl had been sketching. She barely caught her. The girl was packing up. "Oh, the money," the girl fretted. "Realized you gave too much to some street kid?" "Not at all," Victoria said, surprised by her assumption. "I wanted to ask, you said you don't live with your parents. Where do you stay? Where do you eat? And what's your name?" "Ellie." The girl exhaled, relieved. "I stay at a hostel. Cheap. I eat at soup kitchens, or volunteers bring food to the station sometimes." "Why?"
Can I come with you? Victoria asked pleadingly. She didn't want to crash with anyone from her old life. Pride and prejudice, she smirked to herself. Honestly, I gave you my last money. Could you cover one night at the hostel for me? I'll earn it back and repay you. But it's your money. I can give it all back. Ellie shrugged, offering the rolled-up bills. No, just one night. Victoria stopped her. All right, let's go. But I don't get you. Did your husband kick you out? Ellie snorted. You could say that. Victoria smiled bitterly. Hey, know anywhere hiring with same-day pay? I need to catch my breath before rebuilding my life. You're in luck. An upscale salon needs a cleaner. Wipe down tools, fetch stuff, whatever they say. I was there recently, designing their decor. They wanted art. They offered me the cleaning gig, but I'm busy. Let's swing by now if they haven't filled it. Victoria got lucky. The cleaning job was still open, and, to her surprise, they hired her. As they left the salon, Ellie asked, A lady like you? A cleaner? Where's your stuff? You can't wear the same clothes forever. Didn't think of that. Thanks for the reminder, Victoria said. I'll figure it out tomorrow. The hostel had a free bed next to Ellie's, and Victoria collapsed onto it, barely undressing, hunger forgotten. The day had been grueling, and she fell asleep instantly, phone off. After a week at the salon, Victoria visited her old apartment, sold by Nathan using a fraudulently obtained power of attorney. The new tenant had promised to store her things until she retrieved them. She grabbed essentials, stashing some in the hostel's safe. She also repaid Ellie for the first night, though the girl resisted. Take it, Victoria insisted. You need it more. You've got school ahead. I'm done with that. Victoria kept working, but one morning, entering the salon, she witnessed a scene the participants didn't notice. Wow, you're all dolled up, a staff member eyed a woman head to toe. Dressed like that to mop floors? And when'd you dye your hair? Blonde yesterday, brunette today. What's that supposed to mean? The woman snapped, clearly thrown by the attitude. I was told this is the best salon in the area, but all I see are rude employees. Hey, don't get uppity. Here to work, so work. Wear a ball gown and mop if you want. The salon owner emerged from her office. No complaints about your work, so get to it and drop the Wounded Innocence Act. The woman turned, and Victoria understood the stylist's reaction. She was her spitting image. The only difference was darker hair, but even the hairstyle was similar. The stranger's eyes held the same shock as Victoria's. They stared, speechless. Victoria recovered first. So, Ellie drew you on the boardwalk? She asked, tilting her head to study her double. Seems so, the woman replied. You two have some talking to do? The salon owner waved Victoria toward the exit. She nodded and gestured for her lookalike to step outside. They entered a cafe in the same building, sat across from each other, and couldn't stop staring. How is this possible? Victoria spoke first. I don't know. Her counterpart's eyes were still wide with fear. We're not just similar, we're identical. Even our hairstyles, Victoria exclaimed. Others don't suit me, the woman replied mechanically, still gawking. Same here, Victoria nodded. There's got to be an explanation. I'm Victoria. What's your name? Ava, the stranger said softly. They got talking. Ava grew up with scientist parents who worked abroad and recently returned home. There, she married a Russian man contracted with her parents' company, had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Now they lived in a big house on the boardwalk, running a small boutique hotel with guided tours. My parents never mentioned a sister, Ava finished, pensive. But I grew up in a full family too, Victoria mused. My parents passed a few years ago, though. No one mentioned a twin either. Should we visit my parents? Ava suggested. Maybe seeing you will jog their memory. Yours, sadly, can't tell us anything. Or we could check the maternity hospital where I was born, Victoria countered.
She was oddly nervous about meeting Ava's parents. "There must be records. By the way, when's your birthday?" Ava named the same date as Victoria's. No doubt, they were twins. "I have to work today, but I can take tomorrow off. Want to come?" Victoria asked. "Can't tomorrow, honestly. We've got tours booked, no way to cancel. Day after?" Ava said apologetically. "Fine, I'll go alone. I can find out myself. No need for a crowd. I'll visit my parents' graves, too. It's been a while," Victoria said, determined. She sensed a mystery tied to their birth. "Will you tell me about yourself?" Ava asked, puzzled why someone as educated as Victoria was cleaning floors. Victoria shared her story, her business, her cheating husband, her new job, and the young artist who mentioned a woman identical to her. Ava listened, stunned that so much misfortune could befall one person. "Do you have kids?" Ava asked after hearing it all. "No, never got around to it," Victoria sighed. "There's still time." Ava tried to cheer her. "What, from the Holy Spirit?" Victoria smirked. "That ship sailed." They chatted more, swapped numbers, and agreed Ava wouldn't tell anyone about Victoria until she visited the hospital. Her hometown greeted Victoria with drizzle. She first visited her parents' graves. "What did you hide from me, Mom?" she asked aloud, staring at their photo. She cleared old flowers, laid fresh ones, and headed to the maternity hospital. There she easily found a midwife from back then, a sprightly, talkative old woman. "I'll tell you what I know," she bustled. "The doctor who delivered you is retired now. The woman admitted that day was expecting twins. The doctor shooed us out of the delivery room. Later we saw only one baby, and they told us nothing about the second, warning us to keep quiet. That's all I know. But the doctor, Paula, might tell you more. She lives nearby. I'll write her address. Go see her. She's got time." The midwife tore off a scrap of paper and scribbled the address. Victoria went to Paula's. A man in his 40s opened the door. "Who are you looking for?" he asked gruffly. "Does Paula live here?" Victoria checked the paper. "She does, but she's in the hospital. Stroke. I'm her son. Can I help?" He softened, seeing her confusion. "I need to talk to her. It's important," Victoria said, unsure what to do. Leave without answers? "Come in. Maybe I can help." He stepped aside. She entered a typical apartment. He led her to the kitchen, putting on a kettle. "No talk without tea," he smiled. "What's your business with my mom?" After hesitating, Victoria spilled everything. Ava, their identical looks, how they were clearly sisters. "Your mom must know why we were separated and raised in different families," she finished. The man thought. "I remember something. I was a kid, maybe misremembering, but here's the gist. Mom told a friend in secret about a pregnant woman brought in. Twins. The woman was crying, saying her job cut her. Her husband's pay was delayed. They couldn't afford 2 kids. Mom suggested, for money, giving one child to a wealthy couple who couldn't have kids if it was born healthy. The woman agreed. Twin girls were born. One stayed with the mom, the other was taken and given to the new family, who left for work abroad soon after." "That's allowed? Buying a child?" Victoria was horrified. "You can buy anything," he smirked. "Money talks, but selling your own kid? I'll never get that. Who am I to judge, though?" "Yeah, who are we?" Victoria frowned, reeling. So her mom sold Ava to a rich family? She couldn't sort her feelings. Anger, resentment, jealousy, envy. It all swirled. "How'd you meet your sister?" he asked, amazed. "At the salon." Victoria recounted the encounter. "I bet your co-workers' jaws dropped." He laughed. Recalling their stunned faces, Victoria smiled too. "Sorry, what's your name? We've been talking an hour, and I don't know what to call you," he said, pouring tea. "Victoria." She stirred her cup. "You can call me Vicky." He shared a bit about himself. how, returning from a work trip, he found his wife with another man. They'd planned a child, but she had one with someone else. He left them the apartment and moved in with his mom. Victoria shared her story. "What'll you do with this info?" he asked. "Nothing. Just want to get to know Ava and her family if they're okay with it," she shrugged. "And work? Keep mopping salon floors? You're a pro. You could rebuild your business." His interest and sympathy were genuine. "The business is gone. Rebuilding needs money. A loan, at least. Who'd give me one now? I'm practically jobless," she said glumly. "You could recover what your husband stole. You're not divorced, so half is yours by law. Just find him," he suggested. Victoria paused. Finding him means hiring someone, which costs money. "It's all about money," she sighed. "Enough with the money talk. I'll find your runaway," he grumbled. "Why would you do that?" she asked, surprised. "Let's say I'm for justice. Plus, it's not every day you meet the heroine of a childhood story," he smirked. "Go home, just leave your address and number." That evening, Ava called. Victoria shared what she'd learned. "Hard to wrap my head around," Ava sighed. "Come over, meet my family. Time to close this chapter." Ava's parents were speechless when the sisters showed up together. Her adoptive mom sobbed. Her dad clutched his chest, needing heart drops. After the shock, they sat in the living room. Ava's parents admitted they knew about her twin but feared telling her. "I couldn't say," her mom cried. "I was scared you'd leave, go looking. We had one daughter, now we've lost her. Mom, now you have 2 daughters." Ava hugged her. A few days later, Ethan called. Nathan had been found in a hospital after a car crash. His mistress ditched him. Nathan returned nearly everything he stole. In return, Victoria hired him a nurse and paid for treatment. Rebuilding her business was tough, but her reputation helped. Clients trusted her. Partners were ready to return. Ethan became a friend, and over time their friendship grew into a deep, tender love. As for Ellie, Victoria and Ava funded her studies at the Art Academy. They beamed with pride at her first gallery exhibition. A year later, Victoria became a mom. Fate sometimes delivers astonishing surprises, bringing people who help you start anew, find new family, and uncover hidden parts of your soul. When all seems lost, look around. Those ready to offer new hope may already be near.